Naoya Inoue has quite the history with fighters from the Philippines, and every time he steps into the ring with one, it feels like a collision between precision and raw courage. First, there was the mighty Marlon Tapales. And make no mistake, that was no easy night for anyone, not even for a generational talent like Inoue. Tapales was tough, gritty, and carried that kind of Filipino pride that makes him dangerous every single second he's standing. He had power in both hands, especially that body shot that could flip a fight in a heartbeat. But then again, this is Naoya Inoue we're talking about. The monster, a man who's built his name on taking on the best and making them look like they don't belong in the same weight class. No matter who's in front of him, he's the one dictating the pace, the one writing the story. Then came Michael Dasmarinas, another hopeful Filipino challenger stepping into the monster's den with fire in his heart and a belief that he could shock the world. These men didn't come to survive, they came to win. But standing across from Naoya Inoue is a different kind of reality. Against him, even the smallest mistake becomes a highlight reel moment, a split second between glory and destruction. You can't blink, you can't fade, and you can't doubt yourself for even a heartbeat. Inoue doesn't just beat opponents. He breaks them down, layer by layer, with patience, precision, and power that makes even seasoned pros second-guess everything they know. Let's go back to that night against Marlon Tapales. The energy was electric, and Tapales wasn't intimidated. He'd been in there with elite fighters before, he'd won world titles, and he wasn't going to let the aura of Inoue swallow him whole. But the monster has this way of turning a fight into his playground. From the opening bell, he moved with that signature patience, reading every twitch, every reaction, every little tell from his opponent. Inoue in those white, red, and blue trunks was calm, cold, and calculating. Tapales landed a nice left hand early, a little reminder that he wasn't just there to be a stepping stone. Still, even in those opening moments, you could feel it. The difference in speed, the snap in Inoue's punches, and the ease with which he controlled distance. Inoue wasn't showing his full hand yet, just touching, testing, and downloading data, as they say. Tapales tried to throw that looping left, and you could see Inoue take that subtle half-step back, ready to counter in a split second. Every movement had purpose. By round 3, Inoue started to shift gears, letting those fast combinations flow. He wasn't looking for one big knockout shot. He was breaking Tapales down, touching him to the head, digging to the body, and forcing reactions. The crowd could feel the rhythm changing. You could almost sense that Inoue was preparing to step on the gas. Tapales wasn't folding, though. He stood his ground, firing back with his own jabs and hooks. The commentators were right. Tapales had the right idea, going to the body to try and slow Inoue's power down. But against someone with Inoue's timing, that's a risky game. The monster doesn't give you second chances. You can't get greedy. You can't linger inside. Then came round 4, and everything changed. Inoue let those hands go, sharp, vicious, and perfectly placed. A left to the head, a right hand sneaking through the guard, and boom, Tapales hit the canvas. He didn't see it coming. The crowd roared. Inoue had found his rhythm, and when that happens, you know the end is near. Tapales got up. He's got heart, no doubt about that. But from that point on, it was all Inoue. The Japanese superstar started round 5 the same way he ended the 4th, throwing bombs with that cold focus that makes him so terrifying. He dug to the body, ripped upstairs, and Tapales, to his credit, fired back with courage. He even landed a couple of sneaky counters that reminded everyone why he was a unified world champion. But when you're standing in front of Naoya Inoue, courage alone isn't enough. The monster's shots are precise and thudding, the kind that take your breath away and shake your confidence. By round 6, Inoue was in total command. Tapales was still there physically, still showing grit, but the momentum had completely shifted. You could see it in their movements. Inoue was stalking, cutting off the ring, and setting traps. Tapales was reacting, not initiating. Then came another massive right hand from Inoue to close out the round, snapping Tapales' head back and sending a message: the finish was coming. The monster never rushes the kill. He lets it unfold naturally. He knows exactly when the prey is ready to fall. The next rounds felt like a slow-motion breakdown of Tapales' will. He tried to stay active, throwing combinations, doubling up on that right hand, and changing levels. For a brief stretch, he found success, landing his jab and even backing Inoue up slightly. The crowd appreciated his courage. But every time Tapales opened up, Inoue was right there with a sharper, faster, heavier counter. The tension was unreal. Everyone knew what was coming. It was just a matter of when. Then, in a flash, it happened again. Inoue exploded with a right hand that crashed through Tapales' guard and sent him down for good. The referee counted, but there was no getting up this time. The monster had done it again. Tapales had come to fight, no doubt. He had tried everything: pressure, bodywork, counterpunching, but Inoue was simply on another level. That's the scary part about watching him. Even when the opponent does everything right, it's still not enough. The monster makes world champions look ordinary. That night, Inoue made history once more, proving yet again that his name belongs at the very top of the pound-for-pound list. And yet, this was only one chapter in his story with Filipino warriors. The other was Michael Dasmarinas, another proud Filipino contender who dared to step up to the monster. Going into that fight, everyone knew it was going to be a rough night for anyone trying to solve the Inoue puzzle. Dasmarinas was strong, technical, and hungry, but Inoue is not like most fighters. From the first bell, Naoya made it clear he had multiple plans in motion. He mixed his shots beautifully, lining up that signature right hand, throwing feints, and keeping Dasmarinas guessing. You could see how quickly he switched from probing jabs to explosive hooks, like a viper striking out of nowhere. Dasmarinas tried to move early, using his legs, circling, and staying off the center line. He knew what would happen if he stood still too long. You could see him thinking, trying to bait Inoue into overcommitting. But Inoue's presence alone is enough to drain opponents. Just being in range with him, knowing that at any moment a punch could land that changes everything, takes a toll. Dasmarinas looked uneasy, trying to stay disciplined while not giving Inoue any openings. But you can only stay perfect for so long. Then, Inoue caught him. A short, sharp left hook to the body. It didn't even look like a full swing, but the impact was devastating. Dasmarinas went down. That's the thing about Inoue's body shots. They're not just powerful, they're surgical. He finds the smallest gaps between your elbows, hits the liver flush, and your body just shuts down. You can see it in the delayed reaction, the pain that freezes the legs before the brain even processes what happened. Dasmarinas tried to rise, but that pain is something no willpower can overcome. He got up, but he was hurt badly. Inoue didn't rush. He stalked, feinted, and looked for the next opening. Another left hook to the body. Then another. You could hear the thud. Every shot was landing cleaner and heavier. Dasmarinas was fighting back out of pride, but he was drowning in the pressure. Inoue's combinations were coming faster: jab, uppercut, hook to the body, and the Filipino challenger just couldn't escape. Round after round, Inoue kept digging to that liver, almost like he was sculpting the perfect knockout. By the middle of round 2, it was clear Dasmarinas was in trouble. He was trying to keep his guard tight, but Inoue is too smart for that. He split the gloves with uppercuts, then looped around the elbows with hooks. That's what makes Inoue so special, his creativity under pressure. He doesn't just throw power shots. He sets traps, and he manipulates your defense until there's nowhere left to hide. The commentators were losing it at ringside. Every punch looked like it could end the fight. And then, in vintage monster fashion, Inoue closed the show. He set it up perfectly. A few quick feints upstairs, making Dasmarinas lift his elbows, and then, boom, another left hook buried right under the ribs. The challenger went down again, this time in agony. You could see it in his face, pure pain. He tried to beat the count, but Inoue was already moving to a neutral corner, knowing it was done. The referee counted to 10, and that was all she wrote. Naoya Inoue had delivered another masterclass in destruction, another highlight reel finish to add to his growing legend. What makes these performances so fascinating isn't just the power, it's the control. Inoue doesn't swing wildly or chase knockouts. Everything is measured, calculated, and cold. His footwork keeps him in range without exposing him. His defense is tight, his timing impeccable. He has this rhythm where he'll lull you into a false sense of security, then explode with a shot you never saw coming. Against Tapales and Dasmarinas, it was the same story told in two different ways. One crushed by headshots, the other by body shots. Both victims of the same brilliance. Dasmarinas, to his credit, tried everything he could. He moved, he jabbed, and he countered. But Inoue's speed and accuracy were overwhelming. Even the punches that only grazed seemed to hurt. The Japanese star's ability to combine offense and defense seamlessly makes him one of the most complete fighters of his generation. When you watch him, you realize how rare that kind of total dominance really is. He doesn't just beat champions, he dismantles them methodically, as if he's solving a puzzle piece by piece until there's nothing left to fix. By the end of the night, Dasmarinas could barely stand, holding his side, the pain still radiating from those liver shots. Inoue, calm as ever, bowed to the crowd, showing that quiet respect that defines his character. There's no arrogance, no showboating. Just pure mastery of his craft. The monster had once again reminded the world why he's considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters alive. Both Tapales and Dasmarinas brought heart, pride, and courage into the ring. They represented the spirit of Filipino boxing, tough, relentless, never backing down. But against Naoya Inoue, even the toughest warriors have found themselves outmatched. His combination of power, precision, and composure is something rare. It's not just that he wins, it's the way he wins. There's no chaos in his violence, only control. Every knockout looks clean, almost effortless. That's what separates him from the rest. Watching him fight, you start to realize that what makes Inoue truly special isn't just his power or his speed, it's his mindset. He treats every opponent like a new puzzle to solve. He studies them, breaks them down, and once he finds the weakness, he never lets go. Whether it's a liver shot that folds them in half or a right hand that breaks through the guard, the result is always the same: dominance. Over the years, we've seen champions crumble under the weight of his precision. His knockout ratio speaks for itself, but the way he carries himself is what truly stands out. There's no wasted energy, no unnecessary flash, just pure execution. Against Tapales, he used calculated pressure and sharp combinations to break down a durable champion. Against Dasmarinas, he used surgical bodywork to destroy an opponent from the inside out. Two fights, two very different paths, but one undeniable outcome: the monster always wins. When the final bell rings, and the dust settles, you can't help but sit back and think about where Naoya Inoue belongs in the grand scheme of boxing greatness. Pound-for-pound lists come and go, but few fighters combine power, skill, and composure the way he does. He's fought champions, unified divisions, and dominated opponents who were supposed to test him. Yet somehow, every time he steps in the ring, he looks like he's still improving. So where does Naoya Inoue rank on your personal pound-for-pound list? Is he the number one? The argument's strong. The way he dismantles world champions, the way he finishes fights without ever losing control, it's hard to think of anyone doing it better. Against Tapales and Dasmarinas, he didn't just win, he reminded the world what true mastery looks like. The monster continues to roar, and as long as he keeps stepping through those ropes, the rest of the boxing world better stay ready, because Naoya Inoue isn't just here to win titles. He's here to make history, one devastating knockout at a time.